Montana Senator Tim Sheehy is here with analysis. Senator, wonderful to see you tonight. Will the Senate demand what the American people, I think, want, which is a clear accounting of the upwards of $200 billion in money and weapons we've sent over there?
Well, the Republican side of the Senate certainly will, and I think you're going to see actually a growing bipartisan desire for that, Laura. I think, as you said, that the facts can't be ignored. I was shocked today when I saw the New York Times, both the articles you mentioned, my staff forwarded to me, and believe it or not, I don't read the New York Times most days, but I was shocked to read what I saw because they're absolutely right on both accounts.
Now, Democrats don't want the war to end either, Senator. Watch.
Right now, the most serious corruption of...
I'm gonna be honest, yeah, his name absolutely, yeah. It was wild.
Or to end either, Senator.
Either way.
Watch.
Right now, the most serious corruption of American foreign policy ever is being talked about inside the Trump administration. It's being described as a peace plan to end the Russian war in Ukraine. But if you look at the details, it has nothing to do with peace. It is a business deal to make the people around Donald Trump rich. It's just corruption through and through.
Senator, Chris Murphy's one of the less pleasant individuals, to put it kindly, out there. But why is the left trying to prevent peace here? What's going on here? This obviously isn't going to end in anything but a stalemate.
Well, you know, their views on foreign policy, of course, were allowed this invasion to happen in the first place. They unleashed Gaza into Israel. They unleashed and empowered Iran for decades, handing them billions of dollars. And, of course, as we're seeing right now, you know, they opened the doors and laid out the red carpet for Russia to continue on their expansion and efforts. And now, of course, they want to keep that going. They don't want to have a common sense approach that most Americans have said very clearly. They want these wars to be over. They want us to stop sending hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries when we have our own issues here. And this is a great distraction for them. The reality is, Americans spoke loud and clear. They want Donald Trump to continue to ending all the wars he's already ended. They want him to get this conflict wrapped up as quickly as possible. We don't want Russia to win, of course, but at the end of the day, we have the corruption museum in Ukraine, where I think we're on the fourth chief of staff now for Zelensky. He's fired multiple generals in the past few years. We've proven billions of dollars headed to locations that we don't even know what they've been spent on. We want Ukraine to prevail, but at the end of the day, we can't expect the American people to keep footing the bill for this, and why the Democrats wanted to keep going is beyond me.
Well,
because it's Trump. Like, you have to understand this here. What I see outsider looking in here is that the Democrats do not want Trump to end the war in Ukraine because it's Trump. It's just because it's Trump. Now, will there be a gigantic amount of people who are probably going to be making money with all of like the land rights or mineral rights specifically coming out of the Ukraine? Yeah, probably. That is a thing that it is what it is here. I mean, when all of the corporations generally flock to the places that are being bombarded by some overwhelming force, let's say here, because now all this land is opening up, obviously. Because it's war torn, right? In fact, it is what it is. That's what happens around the world during any type of like wartime activities here. But I do think that specifically when it comes down to why they don't want Trump to basically end this, it's exclusively because it's just Trump.
I think we also have something that,
like if Obama did
to
it,
me,
they'll be like, yeah.
The most important issue that the Senate can deal with right now and the House of Representatives, which is this existential threat. That's an overused phrase, I understand, to the United States and our independence. Now that the border is sealed, we have to focus on this China threat, Senator Sheehy. And this assessment by the Times and security assessments that have been compiled over recent years indicate that China is set to surpass our U.S. military capabilities in the not-too-distant future.
In what way?
They're planning to take Taiwan in 2027. That's their plan right now, a soft takeover, whatever you want to call it. And doesn't look like there's much at all we're going to do about it, or even that we can do about it.
Well, I've got a wake-up call for you, Laura, and none of this is classified. It's just a fact if you read the actual open-source information that's available. They've already exceeded our military capabilities, Laura. They have more planes, more ships, more submarines, more missiles, more bombs, more soldiers. They have the ability to build ships 230 times faster than we do. They have more vessels to be able to send across the Taiwan Strait than we have torpedoes to sink them. They have an air force that outnumbers ours. They have previously was a technological gap that we were able to depend on. That technology gap has evaporated.
Yeah,
Their
deep
assets
sky.
in space space are threatening the security of our orbital infrastructure, which threatens our very economy and our ability to do anything with the military. We have fantastic men and women in uniform. We do have great platforms, but we do not have enough of them. And the way our programs are structured is they're sclerotic, they're bureaucratic, and process takes precedence over outcome. And I've been working since day one when I got here to rip that up and fix this process, because I refuse to let lance corporals and sergeants and young captains and lieutenants die on a beach somewhere in Asia because we did not do our job here in this building. We have failed our men and women in uniform. We're failing them now. It's not about top-line spending. It's about efficiency. It's about effects on target and getting the end customer, which is the warfighter, what they need. We're not doing it. Time for wake-up calls now, Laura. We got to get to work.
Oh, my God. What do you, huh? I'm going to have to research all these things you just said here, guys. It sounds honestly super plausible based off of their overall like infrastructure and their manufacturing prowess. Let's just say this here, the ability of basically throwing up cities in like a year is wild to me, right? I can imagine that if you're looking to build things pretty fast, you're going to go obviously utilize China for that sole purpose, and China themselves are going to utilize their own overall infrastructure and manufacturing ability, let's say, and quick turnarounds to do this here, even though they do suffer from tofu dreg, where they build all these gigantic cities and you can basically throw a rock at it and the building will fall, right? Not all of them, obviously, but there are some of them that that they are experiencing these things here. But here's the thing here, guys. This definitely feels like WW3 is coming. If they're saying 2027, because I'm telling you, that's going to absolutely spark a WW3 scenario if China goes to try to take Taiwan. All right. Because that's the last piece of the puzzle, right? It's not just obviously Taiwan not being part of the One China project, let's say. It's not even just that. It's like Taiwan specifically right now is like going super hard with like superconductors. They have all the skilled labor, like super skilled, like high-end labor, building all the chips and things like this. So if they take China, like for example, this is why Japan right now is saying we're going to back Taiwan, so Japan can now have access to all of the chips and everything, right? And the skilled laborers, etc. This is why China. Japan themselves are basically threatening China right now. Like, listen, bro, if you try to take Taiwan, we're going straight at you. And obviously Japan knows fully that if Japan gets into something, guess who's coming to their support immediately, guys? All right? Hopefully you understand that we're going to be involved in this nonsense. All because China, specifically, since 1949, has been basically butthurt that Taiwan is no longer part of China, guys. All right? But all right,
Senator, this seems to be, again, if this is all true, and it seems to be true,
yep.
This is the most important issue facing the United States. We need an industrial policy and an industrial plan, similar to what we had in the lead up to World War II, to fix this. Because if we don't fix it, I mean, all these other conversations about the border, I mean, that's all irrelevant.
No question. It's a Manhattan Project style moment, and we have to mobilize the entire government towards it. Doesn't mean we have to shut everything else down, but we have to cut the red tape. The processes that we've instituted in the last 35 years are perverse incentives. It encourages process over outcome and encourages sclerotic, bureaucratic processes that go through program offices, to program specification offices, to engineering offices, to review processes, to where we can spend years, decades in some cases, developing a single weapon system that could have been done in years or months and years prior.
And how about not building up China's military with a massive trade deficit? President Trump's trying to stop that, not giving them all the technology that they need to advance in their military capabilities. That would be nice, too.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, I hear you. But that's, they know that. They know specifically that we're not trying to allow them to do these things. So what are they going to do? That's why they need Taiwan, right? They have to have Taiwan because that fills in the blanks, right? So that immediately completely negates whatever we're doing. Understand, they tried to basically pull off a magic trick back when Russia initially, attacked the Ukraine, guys, right? I mean, they were like, hold on, bro. If the United States of America has the ability to basically sanction the US dollar specifically with Russia, then what we should immediately do is create our own currency so that all of our basically, our adversaries, Russia, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they basically were like, hold on, bros, I have an idea. All right. We don't like the fact that the United States of America can just pull their money away from us. Let's make our own currency. The BRICS currency, in walks it. This is basically why there was such a influx of like the rare earth minerals specifically, the prices of these things shot through the roof, guys. Right? Gold prices, silver prices are up. Why are they up? I don't know, because of this, right? So they wanted to create their own currency. They really do not. They no longer want us to be able to influence them. And once they get to that point, immediately they're going to go ahead and just take. They're taking Taiwan, bro. All right, they're taking it. We allowed them to basically build up their entire manufacturing industry off the backs and bro, work, let's say, labor of Americans for cheaper labor. That's what we did here, guys. We allowed it. So now they have like the best manufacturing things everywhere, guys, anywhere. So of course they're doing this here. It's honestly super plausible. It's plausible that they may actually have passed this or surpassed this. And the last piece of that puzzle is Taiwan, guys. Once they have that, then it's a problem. And the world is going to have to kind of step up and not allow them to have that, unless you want to get rid of the English language and just start speaking like Mandarin or something. If that's your thing, do that, right? To allow them to take Taiwan, I guess, guys. But it definitely feels like WW3 is kind of incoming, pretty much based off of those things, though, guys.
Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.